With OpenGate ProRes RAW, I wanted to know, can you turn your iPhone 17 Pro into a pro camera? And the answer is kinda. Here's what you need to know if you're gonna do this. Oh, and this video is sponsored by Artlist.
Let's rock and roll. Let's try this again. Got through, no problems, Peter. Every bag checked. No wonder.
Don't. Just don't. Stop it.
Do you ever think about just bringing less stuff or, you know?
No. Singular bow tie of pasta just wasn't going to cut it, so moved to a healthier option.
First time in Germany. All right, it is time to take a shower because red-eye flights are the worst. And then I guess we go explore. We don't really have a plan for today. Insta360 asked us to come out and they planned some stuff, but today is a bit of a free day. So I think we should shower and then get coffee. Feeling much better. Shower, little club soda. Let's do a little room tour and then I'll show you my little camera rig that I'm gonna be testing out to make the iPhone more like a pro camera. Hallway, bathroom, quite nice actually. I like it. My favorite thing is you get shower with the push of a button. That's sick. I want that in my home. Got some, you know, some snacks, club soda, sparkling waters and such. 2 beds, this is so European, 2 beds that are really, really skinny. That's how you know you're in Europe. Little desk, my camera gear, which we won't go into right now. Nice little view here. And this is the stuff I brought to make the iPhone a little bit more like a pro camera. And we have some interesting features to take advantage of, including ProRes RAW OpenGate, which, okay, I'll show you what I brought. So in order to shoot ProRes RAW OpenGate, you actually need to record onto an external drive. So I literally just made this little contraption using the Angelbird little card reader. And I just put a normal CF Express B card in there, just like I'm used to with my Sony. And then I Velcroed that on there. It just happens to be that I have an orange iPhone and this is orange also, this Angelbird card reader, which is really small. And then I just plug that in there. That's the first step of my little rig. And then a company called Freewell, is not sponsored or anything. They just sent me this stuff. I was like, okay, let's try it out. Little grip / trigger. Now we got that. Kind of awkward how this cable is here, but also kind of nice around the hand. And actually this handle can also go like that. And I think can also expand to selfie stick mode, which I don't know if that's useful at all, but this might be sort of useful. I don't know. I'm gonna keep it like this for now, nice and compact. Make it more pro. Freewell also sent like ND filters and stuff. I'm probably not gonna use these as much, but they make this. This is a little 1.55 squeeze anamorphic lens for your iPhone, which with the OpenGate, that is interesting. And there we have it. We have a little pro camera rig for the iPhone. We're shooting anamorphic OpenGate on the iPhone, ProRes RAW. I'm super curious to see how is the quality on this. So I think we gotta go out there and check it out to see if this is all a waste or this is actually useful. Now the one big problem is that in OpenGate ProRes RAW, there is no stabilization. And so
I'm gonna run 2 tests. One where I'm filming like this, just like handheld, super nimble. And then the other is gonna be using, this is Insta360's little like phone gimbal. I'm not a huge fan of these phone gimbals, but without that stabilization in OpenGate, this might actually become vital if you want to shoot OpenGate on the iPhone when you don't have stabilization. It's gonna be interesting. So I think I'm gonna test these 2 things. I don't think you can have the anamorphic on this. I think it's gonna be too heavy. So it's gonna be OpenGate, just shooting OpenGate, no anamorphic, and then handheld OpenGate anamorphic. And we will compare and see if the results are at all cool. Is it worth it, or is this all just silly and you should just shoot on your real camera? Or could you just be filming on this? Look how sick this little thing. I gotta figure out how to do this cable management, but look at this little, like, it's so like perfectly color coordinated. This is actually like kind of sick in the hands. Sometimes when a camera just feels good in the hands, it's way more fun to shoot, and that's kind of the vibe I'm getting right now. I'm actually proud of using this, and then I don't have to carry around another like SSD for this purpose. So this actually works pretty well. I just realized that I could have put ND filters on here. I didn't realize there was actually a filter thread on there, except I'm missing the one. I don't have the filter. Sometimes when I'm editing a section that I have done a million times, for example, getting on an airplane, traveling somewhere, I think, how can I make it feel different from all of the other times I've done getting on an airplane and traveling B-roll sections? Well, this time I decided to make some impossible B-roll footage using Artlist. Question, how many AI generated B-roll shots did you see in the video so far? Be honest, because there were a bunch. For example, that POV shot of under the airplane as it's landing. Clearly that would be illegal and impossible for me to get, but using VO 3.1 or Sora 2 inside of Artlist makes it possible. Just give it a prompt like POV camera angle of commercial airplane landing on tarmac. And then choose your model. I really like VO 3.1. You can choose the aspect ratio, whether you want it to be 16:9 or 9:16. You can choose the duration or length of the clip, 4 or 6 or 8 seconds. Just be aware that the longer the clip is, the more credits it will cost to generate. And then choose 720 or 1080, and
it even generates audio, so you can make characters that don't exist talk or yell.
Think of these like tools in DaVinci Resolve or Final Cut or Premiere, like a Magic Mask or LUTs or Power Grades, to do things that you would not be able to do otherwise. They are there to help you tell stories that would not otherwise be possible for you. For example, I made my Nikon ZR melt using Nano Banana. I took my thumbnail and then I made the camera melt because I realized I made a mistake, and the data rates are actually really, really high, which makes the camera melt. How many thought that it was an overheating issue? Gotcha. The best part about Artlist is that you have so many different models inside of one platform, so you don't have to have a subscription to all of the different AI platforms out there for the one time you need to use that specific model. And the different models have strengths and weaknesses, so you start to learn like, oh, for this type of shot, VO3 is perfect. Oh, for this type of shot, I should use Sora 2. Check out Artlist for their music, their sound effects, their stock footage, and even the impossible B-roll. Thanks Artlist for sponsoring this video. So how good is the OpenGate ProRes RAW? It's pretty freaking good. Here, I'll give you guys a little example. Here is my pro camera, $4,000, $3,000 lens, and here is an iPhone with an anamorphic lens. And this is legit starting to get very interesting. Pretty big problems with using your iPhone like this. One is the file sizes and having to use an external drive, and the other is even worse, the stabilization. So in order to do ProRes OpenGate RAW, you do need to record onto an external hard drive. And for me, I'm actually just using this Angelbird card reader. I mean, it's orange. It just kind of fits the orange vibe of my iPhone really well. Now the ProRes RAW files are actually really, really big, so be prepared for a lot of data. That's just something you're gonna deal with. It's not the biggest problem. The bigger problem is when you do OpenGate ProRes RAW, there is no stabilization. So even when you're holding it as steady as you can, it's still, you're getting a lot of these little micro jitters, the worst kind of shake. It's not just like nice camera shake, it's those little micro jitters that are just really quite nasty. Here's what it looks like when you digitally stabilize the footage, which will work sometimes, and then in other cases, it's just not gonna do the job.
It's unfortunate that the OpenGate is only in ProRes RAW. I really feel like it would be nice. I'm sure maybe there's some limitations. This might just be too much. It might be just better to use the Blackmagic app and shoot in H.265 and have the Apple Log 2, but we don't get OpenGate. But maybe that's fine. It is nice to have this as an option though. Probably noticing a lot of the jitters, shakiness. Might just be a little too wild. All right, you gotta put it on gimbal then. That's what we're gonna try now. Okay, this is now on the Insta360 Flow little phone gimbal to cut out all those micro jitters and actually keep it stable because there is no stabilization in OpenGate. So this might actually be the way to go. Even with the gimbal and you're in 100 mil mode, the 4X just choppy as crazy. It's, yeah, you really notice how much the iPhone does in stabilization when you don't have it.
Before, I would have been like, I don't think you really need this. The iPhone stabilization's great, except it's not in OpenGate ProRes RAW. Now, the problem is this combination of grip and this anamorphic lens is actually quite heavy. This is actually too big to put on something like this. So if you want to do this whole thing, you actually need something like the DJI RS Mini or whatever, like a full-on gimbal, like you would with any other camera, to handle this. But I did do a lot of tests with just the iPhone in OpenGate by itself, which is a really cool look also, using the Flow and seeing if that's like a viable way of shooting. And it's very interesting how these phone gimbals will be more popular now with this OpenGate ProRes RAW. It's almost hilarious how good this is. This is a smartphone. It's a smartphone. It's not a pro camera, and yet you can kind of get pro camera quality out of it now.
We all do our camera tests a little differently.
So this is how I was using it with the OpenGate ProRes RAW, no anamorphic lens or anything like that, just going full on. And this is actually pretty interesting. It's a pretty fun, super light way of shooting stuff that is still quite high quality. And then you get rid of a lot of those jitters and those micro shakes. I still noticed that I would still kind of get them once in a while. This is so lightweight and stuff that you almost need like a little bit more weight, like a bigger gimbal to really stabilize this out. When you're not getting the stabilization of the iPhone plus the gimbal, it's a lot more sensitive. A little side note, you can use this anamorphic lens with the wide camera and the telephoto, but you cannot put it on the ultra wide. You just get the barrel and all that stuff. But honestly, I think in most situations, you don't even need all this. You basically just pull out the Blackmagic camera app and you shoot an HEVC, which is a very nice codec, not massive file sizes, and you shoot an Apple Log 2. That's what I was doing like kind of when I was traveling and all that stuff. And the footage actually looks great. I think for a lot of people, that'll be more than enough. And then you have all three cameras, you can use them all. It's really, really nice, super convenient, very easy to do, and the file sizes aren't crazy. And you have all the stabilization and the dynamic range and all that stuff of the iPhone 17 Pro.
Look at these tourists over here.
A smartphone should not be this good, and I love this kind of filmmaking or this kind of gear because it really just like eliminates all of the gatekeeping, and anybody who is a good storyteller can now make something really interesting, whereas before the gear was a really big problem. Super expensive, super hard to get. It was kind of exclusive. It's not perfect though. I find that smartphones a lot of times kind of hit and miss. Sometimes they're great if conditions are nice, it's really great. If conditions aren't the best, which is often at times when you're filming, it's gonna start falling apart and it's not always gonna be that great. I'm still gonna be using my Sony or Nikon ZR maybe as my pro camera, but there are definitely times where this will be the best tool for you. And even if you don't want to use this as a pro camera, there are definitely times where something very interesting is happening that would be perfect for your story, but you don't have your pro camera. Well, your iPhone is your you don't have an excuse camera. This goes with you all the time. You can always capture things as they're happening. And that to me is so valuable. And once you start realizing that I can capture anything as it's happening, this becomes one of your favorite tools. We didn't really talk about audio. I didn't really do audio here, but you could just put a little shotgun mic on here. I would love it if you could put lav mic straight into the iPhone without having to plug it in or anything like that. I hope that becomes a thing in the future. The big problem with audio here would be that you need some sort of splitter for the USB to get the audio in there and get this external hard drive. It starts becoming a little bit of a mess at that point, but luckily the iPhone microphones are actually quite good too. I don't know what you guys are thinking, but this rig looks super sick. I don't know, it looks really cool. It actually feels really great in the hands. Yeah, I think this is gonna get wilder and wilder every single year. I appreciate it all. All right, that's it for this one.
It even generates audio, so you can make characters that don't exist talk or yell.